These are the 12 attitudes we believe are most important for a youth worker to apply counseling skills in a good way. 1. Be trustworthy. The first step to building a trusting relationship with a child is creating a familiar, safe environment so the child feels at ease. This is a long-term process which can only be established by really being present and by being present consistently. Taking the time to build this relationship will allow the child to open up so you can get to know him better. 2. Be non-judgmental and open-minded. All children should feel free to express their thoughts and feelings without any fear of being judged, criticized or rejected. So steer clear from questions like, "Don't you think it would be healthier to stop using drugs?" 3. Be patient. A lot of patience is required when applying counseling skills with vulnerable children and youth. We need to follow the pace of the child and not push them to say or do anything they do not want to. The goal is to create the time, the space and opportunity for the child to reflect at his own pace. 4. Be respectful of the children and of the environment where you meet them. 5. Be responsible. This doesn't mean that you can't have fun with the kids or play with them, of course, but if you set certain ground rules as a team, it's important you stick to them. 6. Be accessible. Make sure you're approachable by having an open posture, for example, but also by adapting your language to the children you're working with. 7. Be honest. That also means being able to admit it if you're wrong or if there's something you don't know. Sometimes it's a good thing for children to see that their role model doesn't have all the answers either. 8. Be autonomy supportive. Create an atmosphere of positivity so the children feel they can and are allowed to think for themselves. The goal is to support them in making their own decisions, not to make the decisions for them. The children should take the lead in their own process since they are the experts on their own lives. 9. Be accepting. Accept all the children and youngsters you work with unconditionally, not only your favorites. 10. Be objective. We know this is not 100% possible. We're human after all. But you can and should make sure that all children get equal chances and that they all have to follow the same rules. Be fair and be as impartial as possible. 11. Be self-aware. As a youth worker, you need to know yourself well and be in touch with your own emotions. Don't allow personal matters to interfere. If you believe the problems you're having will influence your work, or if there's a risk that you might project your problems onto the kids, it's better to sit out the next session. And 12. Be resilient. The work of a youth worker can be very intense and demanding. You'll support children and youth through emotional issues on a daily basis, which can lead to burnout if you let stress, performance pressure and overwork build up. You need to recognize and accept your own limitations and develop self-care habits. By taking care of yourself, you can make sure you can keep showing up for the children you work with as well. Or to use a well-known metaphor, first put on your own oxygen mask before putting on the masks of the kids. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, so find out what works best for you. It might be talking to a colleague or a friend, going for a run, watching funny animal videos. Whatever it is, actively make the time for it.